Hey, what is up, everybody? I'm here to give you my WWE 205 live review. This is now the most recent episode. This is now WWE 205 live for December 27th, 2016. After this, I'll at least be, almost officially caught up with wrestling. I still have to watch Raw from tonight, which I'm going to watch right after I watch this episode. Um, and 205 Live, actually, I'm actually kind of looking forward to it. We have the duel between Alia Davoe and Jack Gallagher coming up. And we have I believe this is going to be the main event, Neville versus Swan, a matchup they've been building for a couple of weeks. So I'm actually looking forward to 205 Live. So now that I've kind of talked about it, let me dive right into it. Okay, so we had Corey Graves, Mauro Ranallo, and Austin Aries on commentary for this show. The first match on the show was Cedric Alexander with Alicia Fox ringside versus Tony Nese with Drew Gulak ringside. It was okay. I really didn't care about it that much, not gonna lie. I just didn't. Um, and pretty much what happens is on the outside, Alicia Fox and Drew Gulak start exchanging words, and Gulak falls on the floor, and Alicia Fox's boots ends up falling off, so she ends up grabbing it, and Drew Gulak lies and says that she hit her when she didn't, but the referee doesn't know because he wasn't watching any of this, so he he sends Alicia Fox to the back, and then Tony Nese wins with an uppercut, really. So, yeah, that was about it. Then afterwards, Alicia Fox is backstage, and Noam Dog comes up and says, "I know Christmas was a couple of days ago, but I got you a little present." And he holds up a mistletoe, and she slaps the dog shit out of him, and then he does it again, and she slaps the dog shit out of him again. Um, and yeah, it's a dumb storyline. So I'm gonna move on. Um, and then Renee Young interviews Neville. This I did care about. And she asks him why he chose now to join the cruiserweight division, and then he says, "Are you gonna ask me a real question?" And he says that he feels like he was overlooked because they scoured the globe looking for 32 of the best cruiserweights when all along there was one right under their noses, and he says that it was all based on discrimination. And she's like, "What do you mean by discrimination?" And he says that he doesn't mean that it's the people in the company. He means that the United States of America discriminates him because every time he checks into a hotel, people look at him funny. And he says that anytime the United States starts something bad happens to them or they start to feel bad about themselves, they will take they take pleasure in making fun of someone that's not their own kind. And then he talks about how Rich Swan's the best that this cruiserweight division has to offer. But he but pretty much Neville was his he looked up to Neville when he was in Japan, and then he says that he's going to destroy Neville, and he says that he's used to being in the ring with people that are 300 pounds, and he said that being in this division is going to be a dawdle. When he's like, I didn't catch that last part, and she's like, you know what, it doesn't matter because this interview is over. Pretty much, he says that this division is going to be a piece of cake. So, I didn't really care for the match between Cedric Alexander and Tony Nese, but I did like the interview segment with Neville. Okay, so then we had the next match, Mustafa Ali versus John Unit. It was okay. It was a squash, really. Unit looked like he hurt his knees, so I don't know if that really affected the match or not. Because he looked like he tweaked his knee in this match, but eventually Mustafa Ali wins with a reverse 450, and this was his hometown, so he was massively over here. And he talks about how afterwards he cuts a promo talking about how Chicago was where he was made, and he says that the WWE superstars in universe have judged me just because of how I looked. But he says that he's going to let his wins speak for himself. But it was an okay promo. It wasn't a great promo, really, though. And then we have a video package for Aria Davoe. And he talks about how he's the greatest cruiserweight on the planet. And he says that he has the experience because he's wrestled on Monday Night Raw. He wrestled at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. And he talks about how he comes from family, how his brother Sean from his brother Sean Daivari, but he says that he's already outshined Daivari. He's gonna bring better prestige to the Daivari name, and he says that then he talks about his feud with Jack Gallagher and how when Gallagher defeated him, it was nothing more than a fluke, and he said that he's never gonna let that happen again. And then that was really it. I thought overall it was a good video package, but the match between Mustafa Ali and John Newton, I'm not going to crap on it too much because I don't think it's the fault of probably the match. It's just, I think somebody got injured, but still, I really didn't care about it anyway, so. Okay, next was the Gentleman's Duel. It was Alia Daivari versus Jack Gallagher. And, Jack Gallagher says, you've insulted my manly integrity, so this is how we're going to settle it. We're going to settle it with a duel. And Alia Daivari says, look, I don't know what this is, but if you want to fight, we can fight. And then Jack Gallagher says, no, we're going to do this gentlemanly. And Jack Gallagher points out all the weapons, and he says, no, we're not going to use the flower pots as a weapon. And the weapons are a frying pan, a rope, a lead pipe, an umbrella, a wrench, and a teapot, and a candlestick. And you get how this works is you pick your own weapons. Daivari picks the lead pipe, and Gallagher picks the umbrella, which I had questioned that. And they're about to beat the crap out of each other. Daivari's even like, you pick the umbrella and I pick the lead pipe. All right, let's do this. And Jack Gallagher says, no, this isn't how we work. We're both going to stand in the center of the ring, back to back, and we're going to take 10, because normally that's how a duel works, but he's like 5 paces across the ring, and then we're going to charge at each other, and whoever quits loses. So they don't even get very far. Daivari tries to ambush him with the pipe, but Gallagher sees him coming and low blows him with the umbrella, and he just beats the crap out of Daivari with the umbrella. And then Daivari, there was like a table with all the weapons on it, tosses the table into Gallagher's ribs and just starts beating the crap out of him. And then he's going to hit him with the wrench, but Gallagher headbutts him, and then he headbutts him in the ribs, and he hits the drop kick to the face, and that was it. And Jack Gallagher ends up winning the duel by forfeit. So that was good. I actually really enjoyed this segment. It was entertaining. It was fun. It was enjoyable. And it's something different than just having matches every week for feuds and just doing like promos. It's helping Jack Gallagher get noticed as a character. So I actually enjoy, and I'm liking this feud. I think it's not like a great feud, but I think it's a good mid-card feud, good cruiserweight feud. And then it plays a video package for Tajiri announcing that he's going to be returning next week, which is obviously this week, which I actually can't wait to see Tajiri back. I'm actually excited for it. So that was it about it. That was really about it. Okay, so now we have the main event. It's Neville versus Rich Swan. And I thought this was a good main event here. Rich Swan dominates the first half of the match. And then Neville just completely beats the crap out of him at the end. He takes his head off with a double axe handle clothesline. He tosses him into the barricade a couple of times. And then he tosses Swan right into the LAD board that's like in between the ring. I forget exactly what it's called. And Swan's about to get counted out, but then Neville takes him out with a moonsault on the outside. And then Neville just completely dominates the matchup from that point. And then Swan starts to make a comeback. He ends up hitting a Phoenix Splash off the top rope while Neville is on the outside standing up. And then Swan hits a drop kick, but Neville kicks out of it. There was one, and then he hits a Tiger power bomb, but Neville kicks out of that as well. And then Neville ended up hitting a wicked basement-like drop kick and a standing moonsault to the back of Swan, which was awesome. And then Neville continues, and then Swan continues his comeback. Neville misses a moonsault into like a 450. And Swan ends up kicking him in the head when Neville kicks out. And the match continues to go back and forth. Eventually, Neville and Swan are fighting up in the corner. And then Neville superplexes Swan and gets the victory, which I was actually kind of surprised about because nobody really wins a match with a superplex. So I actually kind of was fine with how he won because it made Neville look strong. and it was better than him doing the and it actually looked like a devastating move the way he won. And then afterwards, Neville beats the crap out of Swan. He hits a bridge German suplex on him, and then he hits like three super kicks right to Swan, and eventually referees have to pull him off and everything. So overall, I thought this was actually a good main event. And like I said, I'm really liking the new Neville. He's really good. Um, he's actually making me care about the division a little bit more, and I just I would like him to put the cruiserweight championship on him. That's how much I like this new Neville right now. It's just I never thought, if you had asked me maybe a week ago or before Roadblock ended the line, if I ever thought that we would see this side of Neville, I would have told you you're crazy, because Neville was always that good baby face that was like an underdog. But now that we've seen this side of Neville, he's actually better on the mic now, and he's actually like, I care about Neville a little bit more. I always cared about him, but like I want the future with him really well, and I'm enjoying this. And like I said, having Neville in the cruiserweight division right now up to the cruiserweights, just because of the fact that the cruiserweight division really wasn't. I mean, it seems like that Neville they really weren't putting as much emphasis on it. Um, and for a lot of the people that only watch like Raw and SmackDown, they didn't really know who these guys were. And then once Neville joined it, it seems like people care about it a lot more now, and the company's putting more emphasis. It's also because of 205 Live; they're kind of putting a little bit more emphasis on it. But I still think this is good stuff here. It's just good. And overall, I thought this episode of 205 Live actually ended up being a good show. I'll admit, I really didn't have a good start. I didn't care about that Cedric Alexander, Tony Nese match. Not that it was like a bad match. I just didn't care about it. Then the Mustafa Ali, um, John Unet match was just eh. And then obviously the whole storyline too they got going on with Noam Dar and Cedric Alexander, I really don't care about. But I can't. But they definitely brought it towards the end with the gentleman's duel and the main event. I thought they definitely brought it. I'll say it was a good show. It wasn't a great show, but it was a good show. And that's pretty much it, guys, though. You can subscribe to my channel and subscribe to my CM Brothers channel, because I'm about to post a video on there. Make sure to subscribe to my own Talkinator channel. That's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later.